It's on.
All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America, also known as Babylon in the scriptures. All right, also known as the spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, also known as spiritually Egypt. You can look on the back of your dollar, you'll see what pyramids, they got the same idol, idolatry, and the captivity of the children of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, just like in the ancient times, man. But before we do that, we want to give praises to the Most High in His true name, and His Son in His true name. All right, not Jesus, when that's the name of Zeus, that's a pagan idol. All right, so we want to pray in the name, say, Ka,
Call.
Allah,
La. Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem. Ha. Waka. Kodash. Mama.
I double line to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and shalom to you, Akim, and Akbar to the children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Let's start off with this Matthew 24, because we were just having a conversation before the camera cut on about Esau and their New World Order agenda. All right, and how they're doing out with the old and in with the new, in the spirit of their pagan idol Janus. You know, and they're basically doing away with that first world order that they had set up based upon the dollar. All right, the medical system, they're changing that. They're changing their religious system, and they're moving everything towards the digital-based system, man. All right. Now, for instance, you have a situation in Afghanistan. You have something called the petrodollar. All right, that's what the dollar is pegged to right now. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by anything but legality, meaning contract. So now they have it backed by oil. All right, ever since I think it was 1974. All right, after the Nixon shot, 1973 to 1975, I think it was. They set up the oil deal and pegging the dollar to oil under the king of, I think it was Iraq, King of Saudi Arabia, King Faisal. All right, his name was King Faisal, which was the king of Saudi Arabia. Now they're trying to do away with that as well, and that was back. When did they set up Israel? 1480. 1948.
1948.
All right, so first they set up Israel, established Israel, then they established Saudi Arabia, so they can prepare themselves for their future war against places like Iran and China. You see that? So those are their strongholds. But now they're ready to do away with that as well, especially with that situation in Afghanistan. I'm getting to the point. The situation in Afghanistan, with America pulling all their troops out, it's causing all these those Middle East countries, those Middle Eastern countries, to want to pull away from the OPEC deal, the original oil petroleum exporting country nation, and one of the top nations is Iran. They're one of the top nations of the oil producing deal. So now they're ready to pull away from that. So expect that, man. So this could be done intentional. The situation in Afghanistan, just so. And they're trying to say Obama has something to do with it because ISIS involved with the explosion. All right. So now with this happening, now say goodbye to the petrodollar. So what they're going to move to next? The microchip. All right. That's all it's about. Everything is moving towards that. Everything. You can see it. All right. So let's get a couple scriptures, man, with that in mind. Digital-based system. That's what they're doing. 24 and should be at the bottom. Matthew 24 and 36.
All right, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Right. Matter of fact, let's start from 35.
Fine.
But it's important.
Verse 35, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away.
Right. So if you Esau's kingdom is going to pass away. What it say? The inward thought is that their house shall last forever. Let's get that real quick. All right, and say what? What's it? New heaven and new earth. Revelation. Yeah, the one I want praying Peter.
This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Started verse 6. It says, "They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Yahweh a ransom for him. For the Redeemer of their souls is precious, and it ceases forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he that seeth the wise men die, like the wise fool, the brutest person."
Right, Esau is that brutest person, man. Right, they're that brute beast, man. Natural brute beast, Esau.
Right. Verse 10, it says, "For he seeth that the wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutest person perish and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name."
Right, so they try to set memorials up. Like this place gonna go on forever. All right, they try to set it in stone. But the scriptures say that they are just men. They're just like grass, man. All of us, you know. But the Lord said those that are in his word shall stand forever. And his word, if his word is within us, Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, then we'll be forever. All right? Our kingdom will be for eternity. You got precept. But this kingdom here is vanity. It's all vanity, just like the Roman Empire. All right, just like Babylon, just like Persians and the Medes. It's all vanity. All right, go ahead, brother. Whoever, either one.
All right, God. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 33. "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away."
Right, heaven and earth shall pass away, but his word shall not pass away, right? Where you at?
This is Luke 21, 33.
That's the same thing like Matthew. So.
Yeah, God.
I need 2 Peter, I need Revelation. They said New Jerusalem.
Revelations 21.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 11. "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness."
Right, man. So that's what we're looking for. All right, we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And in this kingdom right here, there's no righteousness, man. All right, so we know that Esau is still in power. We know that the wicked are still in power. All right, so we're still looking for a promise. All right, we're still hoping for that promise, that further land that was promised to Abraham, the promised land. All right, so that's what we're still hoping on. But go ahead, let's get back to the point. Oh, no, you got precept? Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start at verse 1. This is Revelation 21, verse 1. "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea."
Right, you want a new world order? This is going to be a new world order. It's going to be a whole new world. Yeah, meaning Israelites, and the cosmos, the world, and being new, meaning refreshed. And we're going to be in order. And the Lord going to use us to set everything else in order upon the earth. All right, that's your new world order. Go ahead, brother.
"And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband."
Right, so we've been prepared right now. All right, and then ultimately we're going to get those new bodies. You know, because that's when you're going to see righteousness. What's righteousness, man? Righteousness is the keeping of the laws. And you don't see people keeping these laws out here. Esau, they're not keeping the laws, man. 2/3 of our people are not keeping the laws. They're not pushing that in the media or with their commanding general. I ain't talking about Yohana. I'm talking about the guy that's hanging his head low right now. What's his name? Biden.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Oh, that was it. So it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth And that new heaven is going to be the new Jerusalem, meaning new Yerushalayim, the city of peace. And that's what we're looking for. And that's going to last forever. All right.
And our people, the whole world gets misconstrued, the whole concept of what peace really means. People want peace, meaning no war and nobody arguing amongst each other. But as long as there's unrighteousness on this earth, there's not going to be any peace. Peace is the children is peace between the children of Israel and the Father. And Yahushua is bringing that peace and setting everything in order. So as long as we're out of order, and this whole system is set up for us to break the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That's why we need deliverance from this whole system, man. 2/3 of our people are blinded to the fact, and they don't realize this system is what needs to be taken out of the way in order for you to see and establish what true peace, love, and happiness really is. We don't understand that until Yahushua shows up. Because long as sin is on the earth, there's going to be sorrow and death. But when sin gets destroyed, and the father of it, Esau, Edom, going being the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, that work on the left-hand side of the Father, all right, once that is destroyed on earth, then you'll see what peace really means.
Right. They said, well, iniquity going to be at an end.
At an end. Right. Said, all thy people shall be righteous.
Right, my bad, right.
Oh, no. You got any other precepts you want to bring up?
This one, go back to that.
Okay.
It's back at the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Right, man. You know, and the Lord has it set in his heart that day and that hour for us to rule. You know, and we're gonna rule with an iron scepter. All right, way more harsher than the Roman Empire. Under the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he's gonna judge in righteousness, man. All right, so hey, man. But the scriptures say, as in the days of Noah, right? That's coming up. All right, look at it. We're good.
All right, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
Right, and that's what you see. Everybody marrying and giving in marriage, right? Somebody, you know, everybody. Rat, cat, and dog. He, him, Shem. You know?
Just like, that's how 2/3 of our people were in the wilderness. All right, and the Lord was upset with them because what did they do? They woke up early in the morning to eat, and all they did was play. All right, and then when they ran out of food, what did they do? They murmured against the Most High, and that's the same mindset that 2/3 of our people are in right now to this day. The Lord kept them in that derision all the way to the end to live out their judgment.
Right. This scripture say something about you would think it's the 3rd hour of the day. Remember scriptures where they were speaking in Peter and speaking in tongues, and they all understood each other.
Oh yeah, in Acts. Yeah, in Acts.
Yeah, you think it's the 3rd hour of the day. You can get that if you find it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Peter said no, they're not drunken because it's only the 3rd hour of the day. Like basically saying it was still morning time. I got you. Cloven tongues.
Right.
It's Acts chapter 2. I'm over there. 2 and 16. Yeah. You want me to start at the top?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
All right, this is Acts chapter 2, verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Right, man. And this is talking about the Spirit. All right. And this is one of the first signs we might receive real soon. When the Lord gave them spiritual power, he promised them it, man. There's a lot we can go into about this topic. But all right, go ahead, let's get it. Let's go into it.
All right. It says in verse 3, it says, and there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as a fire, and it sat upon each of them.
Right.
And they were
all right there. People say that it was a forked tongue. And that's not what it's talking about. It's not like a tongue with like a serpent's tongue. Right there, what it's talking about, there were tongues and they were cloven, meaning divided to each person. It was like tongues over their head. You know, it's like a light that was over each person's head. It was like a tongue, but it was cloven to each one. You know, divided to each brother. All right, go ahead.
And it says, And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as a fire, and it sat upon each of them.
Right, so it was like fire, meaning like a light.
Mhm.
All right, so that we in the time of that, where we're gonna see miracles. All right, it's nothing for the Lord to manifest a spiritual power to His elect, man. Time.
It says, and they were all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance.
Right.
And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Right.
And that explains why the tongues were over each person. Because when Paul was talking about in 1 Corinthians chapter 14 about speaking in tongues, there shall be an interpreter. But all these different devout men from different countries spoke different language, but we're all under one spirit, right? So those cloven tongues, not only did they speak in other tongues, everybody understood each other. All right, everybody understood each other. All right, it says, verse 5, it says, and there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. You got a point? All right. It says, now when this was noise. Oh, okay. I thought you had more. I know you good. Right. It said, verse 6, it says, now when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?
Right, you can skip down to 14.
Verse 14. But Peter standing up with the 11.
Oh, no, 13.
Verse 13. Others mocked and said, these men are full of new wine.
But they thought they was drunk. But only an idiot. That's what these Egyptologists and these Christians don't think. They'll see the Lord manifesting His power, and they just can't recognize it, man. You know, they see these brothers sitting there speaking in different languages and understanding each other, but they call them drunk. You know what I mean? And at that time, amongst our people, it was wrong. It was looked at as shameful to get up early in the morning and just be drunk all day. All right, especially around 9 in the morning. Go ahead. All right.
It says, but Peter standing up with the 11, lift up his voice and said unto them, ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell in Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words.
Right, my people are drunken, but not with wine.
For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the 3rd hour of the day.
There you go. The 3rd hour of the day represents 9 a.m. in the morning. So at that time, he was like, yo, you can't try to get on them. Don't try to shame them or mock them. You know, 3rd hour of the day, they ain't drunk. You know what I mean? All right, so that was letting you know that our people aren't supposed to be drunken all day, waking up in the morning, partying and bullshit. All right, now we can look at it spiritual. They shouldn't be drunken before we go into the day. All right, go ahead. Drunken in the night.
All right, I said, verse 16, verse 15 again, it says, for these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the 3rd hour of the day. But this is that which is spoken of by the prophet Joel. Right. And it shall come to pass in the last days, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
All right, that's about to happen again. All right, that same thing is going to happen again. The Lord's pouring out His spirit right now. All right, and you got some seed that's falling upon what? The thorns. Some seed that's falling upon the good ground. All right.
All right, it says, verse 17, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
Right, and that's that water. But their cup is already full of these philosophies of the world. All right, so they can't mix it together. You can't mix the good water with sweet water with bitter. Right, bro? That's like the what's that where it's out in the ocean where the damn elements can't blend together.
Two of the oceans.
Yeah, salt water and fresh
well,
water.
seas and oceans can't mix together.
That's like the fresh water and salt water. It can't mix. All right, just like wickedness and righteousness, it can't mix, man. You can pour it on the cup. That's just gonna slide right off. Right,
it says, verse 17, Acts 2 and 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Right, man. All right, that's it on that. That's it. That'll take us somewhere. All right, let's get that drunken wine.
This is Isaiah 51, verse 21. Therefore, hear not this. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. Right. Therefore, hear.
Right, now you good. So 2/3 of our people, they're like a bull straying alone, right, in the woods, getting caught in all kind of traps. All right, go ahead, brother. And the nations are against them, and the nations are always out there to set traps for the bull. All right, go ahead.
Verse 21. Therefore, hear now this: thou art afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
Right, so our people are afflicted, and they're drunken, but not with wine. They're drunken with the philosophies of this world, the beliefs of Esau, their technology, their new world order. You know, their dream of a future metropolis.
Okay, Mama.
All right, where everything could be biomechanic. All right, let's keep going, bro. A lot we can't talk about, but yeah.
I got a precept. I got one too.
Yep, they want to create this whole digital world. What they call it, smart cities. They got Bill Gates starting up smart cities. But get ready, man. The petrodollar. People sleeping, man. We're gonna get second episode 15 too, probably. Go ahead, bro. This one. Yep.
It's Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink.
Right, man. So we cry ye out and cry. That's what we're doing. We're crying out. You know, the cry is going out. And he said, what? They are drunken, but not with wine, man. So our people are staggering and stumbling. All right? Being rocked to sleep. So what they call wine, they call spirits. So they got all kind of spirits on them, man.
Spirit of devils, man. Spoken in Revelation 16.
Right, and the spirit of deep sleep.
They got a precept.
Yep, no, let's get it.
All right, this Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. All right, so the just are not drunk off the wine and the philosophies of Esau, because they've been delivered through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And said, yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that just goes back to the point that Zaquan was talking about earlier, going from the establishing the Federal Reserve in what, 1913 or something like that, 1920. Selling the dollar, and then from the dollar they went had it backed by gold, and from the gold, with the Nixon shop, they went to backing it by oil with the OPEC deal. So when they did that, they had to go infiltrate those Middle Eastern countries so they could take control of everything that happens, so they can make the dollar the dominant force in the trade market, especially dealing with oil. So now, can no other country operate on the global trade market without using the petrodollar? All right, so now they're getting away from with the OPEC deal, all right? And China's going to be moved in the way. So from that transition, you're going to have a form of digital currency come into play. And it's all what it's all is boiled down to.
I think you're right. I think they set the dollar as American. Isaiah. I mean Matthew. Yeah, look at that. What we got? Matthew what?
24, verse 38.
All right. And he said, what? As in the days of Noah, right? And what does the word Noah mean? It means rest. And if you look at this spiritually, you can look at Yahushua like Noah, and us being those animals that he gathered. He gathering in the good animals and the unclean, and into what you would call this truth. Like Ezekiel 37, you know, a great exceeding army standing upon their feet, knowing the Israelites being called into that, but still a portion of them not having the spirit. All right, so they're still unclean.
But they still have a purpose and a job to do. Like Yahushua told Peter, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. They both shall fall in the ditch.
Right.
All right, so it's a person, there's a big sifting going on in the midst of the Lord's Spirit being poured out. So with among that sift, because what did it say? Somebody had sowed tares with the wheats. Shall we go pull up the tares? He said, no, don't pull up the tares, but you also pull up the wheat. Let them grow up together.
Right.
All right, so 2/3 of our nation falls with the other nations as far as being the tares, man.
We get 2 Peter 2:2. All right. Can you read that again? Okay. 24 and 37.
Gone.
I'll stop you after that.
It's back at the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Right. So they were married and giving in marriage until the day. So this foolery and this wickedness is going to go on until the day that the elect go into the chariots. And the same day that the elect go into chariots, the missile's going to be hit. He said, what? That 1 hour? Oh, what's that? Revelation 11. Let's get that real quick. All right. So he said, as in the days of Noah, all the way up until Noah got put into the ark. You know, and the Lord sealed the door. He had to seal the door shut, man. And you know, if people banging on it, wanting to get in there, you know, Noah would have let them in. All right. That's what the Lord doing now with this truth. That's Amos chapter 9. We're going to get that too. I don't think I got that on here, but Amos chapter 9, man. Where he's sealing up sealing up Israel so only the elect can get the truth. That's the ark, the spiritual ark. All right. Sorry, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Right.
And that same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
That word 7,000 means an innumerable number of people. It means completion. All right. And what's going to be completed? The judgment. You know, whoever the Lord has numbered to be destroyed is going to be completely done. The Lord ain't going to miss it. No stone shall go unturned. Meaning if somebody grab a stone and look under it, he go. That's what he means. No stone shall go unturned, man. All right, he gonna check. He gonna search you out of every nook and cranny. Make sure you get your judgment. Where was we at?
Revelation 11.
Right. So he said in the same hour, he said, "Come up hither into the chariot." All right. So that's in the midst of them marrying and giving in marriage.
So that day came and overtook them like a thief.
Right.
Because they weren't paying attention.
Living in the animal kingdom. That's what it's like, man. That's what animals do. They just marry and get married. They just lions populate. Animals out here just having sex and populating. That's what humans are doing. There's nothing fabulous about that. But what's different is this wisdom. He said, "This shall be your wisdom in the sight of the nations." All right. The only thing new is New Jerusalem. All right, and Israel calling on Yahushua. That's new. Him returning. All right, 2 Peter 2:2. Oh, you got precept? Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, right, while the evil days come not.
Right. So we're supposed to remember him now. And we remember him. He said the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. Romans. Yeah, we'll get this real quick. And so this is how we remember. Through the Spirit. All right, through the dove. It's called the Holy Spirit. See that? And the Lord has reminded us through the scriptures, man, the Comforter, the Spirit of truth.
Verses 9 and 16.
Yeah, you good. Take your time. Yeah. I forgot what I asked.
Things written before time were written for our learning. I've just seen it. I'll check my eyes on it.
All right. Let me get 15 and 4.
Oh, 15 and 4. Yeah, it means both.
Somebody get that real quick.
All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right. So the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, man, today. All right, that we through faith of the scriptures, right, might have hope and patience, right? Faith and patience of the scriptures, we might have hope. Not our own patience, but the patience of Yahushua that he showed us as an example. All right, and the Lord published this among many people. What's that? Great with a company that published it. Yep. You good? This is it's Psalm 68:11. Somebody grab it. 68:11. Yep. All right. So he said, what things that were written aforetime, man, were written for our learning. Habakkuk 2. Whoever. Okay. Yes. Somebody grab Habakkuk 2. There you
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 11. It says, the Lord gave the word. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it.
Oh, so we know the word. We live on every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Father. All right, not our bread alone. That was spoken by Yahushua himself. So you got to keep that in mind when it comes to a famine. When they talk about threatening you, shutting down the grocery stores. But he said what?
The Lord gave the word.
So the Lord gave the word, right?
Great was the company of those that published it.
And the word published means to make it public, man. And to have it written. That was publicizing it as well. All right, turning the voice into writing, and now turning the writing into voice again, us being the voice. All right, so we got the other one. Habakkuk 2. Yep. Habakkuk 2, we say right in front table. Start one.
All right, this book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me.
Right, that's what we're doing now. We're watching. A lot of people not watching. The Lord told us to watch, and we're supposed to see what the Lord is saying unto us. All right, he said those that follow him, we're following them, seeing what he wants to do next. What's the next topic he want to bring out, or whatever. All right, go ahead.
And what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right, so we're supposed to be ready to what we're going to answer when we're reproved through what? The scriptures. The scriptures are there to blame us, and what we're supposed to answer is not by my will, oh Yahweh, but by your will. You know, not by my righteousness, but by Yahweh's righteousness. This is what we're supposed to answer. And we're supposed to ask Yahweh for forgiveness while we have a chance to, while you're still breathing on this earth. Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord answered me.
Oh, and we're supposed to say what? What did he say to Samuel? All right, who was that he was talking to? It was Samuel, and I forgot the guy's name, man. I'm gonna try to remember it. It'll come to me, but ain't the point. But it was Samuel, then the one that was watching over him. Yeah. I can't remember his name at the point, but then he woke up. He heard the Most High calling his name, Samuel. And he ran to him. He said, "Yo, you called me?" And he was like, "No, I ain't call you. Go to sleep." And if you wake up, if you hear that voice again, answer and say, "I'm here, Lord. You know, I am here, Lord. I'm listening. What do you have me to do?" All right, and that's how we're supposed to be when we hear him calling to us. All right, let's get it.
And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right. So now the vision is being written. This is a vision. That's why in the Old Testament they called the prophets seers. All right, because they could see the vision or see it before it happened. But now we call prophets to say it before it happened. Either one. All right. Go ahead, brother.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Right, man. The Most High got it set in his own due time, man, for this to go down. All right. Go ahead. You got some more? Good. If it's not, it's cool. Oh no, don't worry about it. Yep. So what? All right. So he said what? He's gonna put us in remembrance. Let's get back to that.
All right, so it's back at the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 39.
Yeah.
All right, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Right. It was scripture said, I'll put you in remembrance. Joe was watching, reading that earlier.
I got one.
All right, this is what we were talking about. I put you in remembrance. I think the written before time was written for our learning. We're written for that one. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, remember that creator.
Yeah, you was reading.
Yeah. Want me to get that again?
Yeah, I did.
All right. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 31. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves and shall know that I am the Lord, their power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. For I give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivities and think upon my name.
Right, that's that remembrance. All right, so and not only that, not only because he gave the word, but he also had to give you the spirit of truth.
Mm-hmm.
He has to give you ears to hear and the eyes to see. All right, and a heart to understand, man.
Gotcha. This is
so go ahead, this is that remembrance, right, brother?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh.
Right, what that means right there is don't wait till you get old, all of a sudden on your deathbed, you start trying to seek the Lord. All right, he's saying do it now before the danger shows up.
And it says, when thou shalt say, all right, so I started with this. It's Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right, man. See, they ain't gonna have no pleasure in it. You know, and basically everybody gonna be on a death sentence real soon, especially with this this time release that they're about to do. Right, within 2 months to 2 years, where everybody might wake up and massive dead bodies everywhere. And scripture say that the slain of the Lord shall be many. And Esau is doing the depopulation. All right, the lawnmower man, that's Esau. Go ahead.
It says, oh, go ahead.
I got to seek me early.
Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me.
Right, man. Those that seek him early, you will find them. Don't wait till the deathbed. You crying out, oh, I shouldn't have did it, Cesariac. You know, don't be waiting till Esau got you in that concentration camp. And it's like, oh, I remember them dudes that was on social media. What he said the Lord's name is, whatever your name is, please forget. No, he ain't gonna hear you. Try to call on it, he's gonna say, where's your works? What's that? Romans, that's 2 Ezra chapter 9. It's delivered by their works. So you gotta have some type of works. You can't just say, hey, I know your name. He say, you can't hide the candle in the bush. You know, that's robbing from the Lord, man. If he gave you some money to share, you know, and to put it out there on the market and for it to duplicate and gain interest, but when he show up, you still hiding it in your pocket. Like, yeah, I kept this away from these wicked ass people, Lord. Look, here you go. You're gonna cut your arm off with it.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning and the end, and the end is manifest.
Right? Manifest means spiritual intervention. That's what it means, manifest. That means the Lord is going to intervene. If you go to Revelations, he keeps saying that. The angel of the fourth angel, the fifth angel, the sixth angel, the seventh angel blew the trumpet. Those are all angels intervening. The angel of the river Euphrates. See that? Pouring their vials, stuff like that. That's called intervention, man. Intervening and bringing about the prophecy. It's a scripture in Wisdom of Solomon. I recall always get it. He doesn't bother or stir up the set measure be fulfilled. Yep. He doesn't stir them to the set measure be fulfilled. right, man. But yeah, there you go. Second answer is 4 and 37. Sharp with it now. I ain't got to tell you.
Second Ezra 4, chapter 4, verse 37.
Right, because the Lord could destroy this place and free us right now if he wanted to. But he's subject to his own word, man. He's going to stick by his word.
Right? It says, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doeth not move, nor stir them until the set measures be fulfilled.
Woo, good, brother. So he's not going to move anything or bother it until it's time. And when it's time, what's that? Second Ezra, chapter 6, Esau, I think it is. The end of the world. Yeah. That's the time, man. That's the time that we're waiting for.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I. In Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? As he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Yeah, man. So when you start seeing Esau being brought down, that lets you know we're at their end. All right, and the mystery of iniquity being revealed. And he said, what? The parting asunder of time, man. And that word time just means kingdom. We're going to be the parting asunder of this wicked ass kingdom, and we go into a righteous kingdom to wherein dwelleth righteousness that we're looking for, that Abraham was looking for, that all the prophets were looking for. All right, that we're waiting for, man. We're in that time right now. Right, brother?
All right. Back at Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works.
Right, powerful works and wonders, right? Even us coming over here in slavery, even the northern tribes coming over here, and the Lord holding back the wind so they can come over here in the ocean in the 3rd century AD. All right, so it has plain beginnings and wonders, right? Go ahead, in new lands, right? The new world, all this, right? It's a wonder. Go ahead, Esau.
Endings in effects and signs.
You get special effects and signs. What you got? He said, look at the moon. It's turning red and all that, man. And the prophecy.
We just had a blue moon.
The blue moon. Right? These are all signs to look for. All right. And one of the main signs is the chip. That's a sign, man. That's a spiritual intervention. The Most High putting it in Esau's heart. The scripture said that the heart of kings in the hands of the Most High. Yep. Real quick, let me get that. Yep. You know, so Esau going about like damn Energizer robot with a battery pack in his back off the edge of the table. But the Lord just said, all right, before you do that, now it's time to bring out your damn chip. Mark those that are yours. I'm gonna have Yahushua mark those that are mine with the Torah. Right? And you know, Esau and the spiritual demon Satan are all nothing but stewards, wicked stewards for the Lord. All right, what else? Okay.
This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the river of water. He turneth it wheresoever he will.
There you go, man. So Esau could be going one way, and then all of a sudden, the Lord just turn his heart a different way. They could be saying, hey, we cool with Russia. We cool with China. We want to make peace. We want to restart our treaties. We say when they shall say peace, peace. That's right, man. As soon as they start screaming out peace, then all of a sudden the Lord say, now I'm going to intervene. I'm going to bring all hell upon you.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. It says, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night.
Unexpectedly, man. It's beautiful. Go ahead.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right. What's that? The inward thought is that the houses shall continue forever. That's right, man. Let me get that one more time. All right. See that? But the Lord said what? They trying to chill, then all of a sudden the Lord gonna move them to chase their desires. And that desire is gonna lead them into their own destruction. All right. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
Right, the hand can perform the enterprise. So,
They call their lands after their own names.
right, man. So they think that everything's going. They think that their kingdom, Job 9:24, real quick. They think this is going to last forever. You know, in their wickedness and their transgression and their iniquity. You know, they think that's going to continue forever. But the Lord said, nah, he controls the hearts of these kings. And he's going to turn them to do something that's going to destroy themselves, man. All right? When they try to go for this new world order. That's why they came out of nowhere and said it. Right when the economy is crashing, they came out of nowhere and they brought in this plague, this pandemic, and then out of nowhere they said, now we have a great opportunity for a new world order, a great reset. So that means they got to do it right now. So that's the Lord moving on. He said, what? Yeah, you know he had for a short time. That's right, brother.
9:24.
Yep.
So, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right, see that? They were covering the faces of the judges. You know, they conquered the earth. And they became they showed themselves to be the oppressor, the rich man. That their desire is to be rich. That's it. Even if they get riches, they desire, their desire will never leave them. You see that? They're haunted by that, just like a thirsty ass lion. So when they get rich, they say riches is never enough for a fool, man. All right. I was reading that the other day. I think it was Ecclesiastes. So go ahead.
This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hand cannot perform their enterprise.
What's that? That's their imagination. And the device is something like the chip. So everything they want to do, you know, going towards a new world order or pulling away from a new world order, they can't do anything without the Lord, man. All right.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
Right, the so-called Caucasian race, man, who runs the world? Esau, the Illuminati. They plan on doing something. Even when they want to make peace with these nations, the Lord stirs it up to where they can't be at peace. That goes with Daniel chapter 2, the time of the 10 toes. All right, where they can't mingle with each other. That's the Lord keeping it like that. The scriptures say the Lord loveth controversy. All right, so when Esau goes to grab us and try to put you in a concentration camp real soon, anybody that goes to get that, it's a death plan. You know, it's a death plan. We've been looking for this for years, for a long time, for them to bring about this new world order and try to trap everybody up. You know? So, right now, what's that? Look at the precept. What's that? Yep, that's the blood and all that. Right.
This is the book of Revelations 12, verse 12. It reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the
go ahead.
And of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Right. So the Lord is showing Esau that he has but a short time. As they're trying to build their new world order, you still got Russia and China building that new world order. And every time they come up with a new plan, look at Biden. All of a sudden he hanging his head, got his head hang low. He got his head low. That's Biden. His head all down, you know, sad. I ain't never seen a sad eating out like that. That shit look weird. Something new in the earth. So yeah, man, every move they make, every little step they take, I'll be watching. The Lord gonna be right there with them. I'm not trying to do this. We're good, man. It just so happened to fit, man. You know, man, brother.
All right, there's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 19.
Yep.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Well, I'll let you know right there that this right here is going to happen all around the world. It's not just going to be in America. Something's going to happen to where the Lord going to activate his sleeper cells in the spirit. He's going to give his angels charge over you according to Psalms 91. And they're going to keep you in all your ways, right here around the world and in America. So he said what? They're going to fear his name from the east and from the west. All right? The ones that are calling out his name. Right, brother? Oh, that was it? All right? So he said, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord. See, he didn't say the angels. He said his Spirit going to lift up a standard. So that could be that spiritual power. That could be that manifestation of spiritual power, man. All right. Where was that? Let's get back to 2 Peter 2 and 2. Oh no, Ecclesiastes. Oh, yeah, Ecclesiastes 12 and 1, I think.
It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember thou thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right, man. What's that? Mike, what's that? Malachi? Jacob's Trouble? Yeah, there's another one too. Nope. I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about fire. Yeah. All right, Michael.
You want that fire? Burn them up.
You might bring that. Michael. Great angel Michael, stand up.
Oh, that's Daniel 12.
Yeah.
You want me to keep going on this?
Let's get this real quick because he said what? We already brought out how to remember, right? How the Lord had us remember him. He had it written in these scriptures, man. And he got Yahweh Shai. Our hope is out there. As long as he's out there, we good, man. It don't matter how many times we come back on this earth, he can send his spirit to us. The spirit of truth to deal with us, man, the comforter. All right. And Esau has no comforter. 2/3 of our people have no comforter, but they have power. Their power is on the left-hand side. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, starting at verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people.
Whoa. I think he wanted Jeremiah 30 first.
Right, first, right? Okay.
Yeah, time of Jacob's trouble, because that's when Michael's going to stand up.
Right.
37, 6.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and 7. I'm gonna start at verse 6.
Yeah.
It say, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Right, something's gonna happen, man. So people gonna be bugged out, just like you see over there in Haiti, just like you see over there in Afghanistan right now. People walking around and men with their hands on their hips. That means pain and anguish. When men begin to wail like women, and nothing worse than a wailing woman. And then when you see men doing it, you know something ain't right. All right, go ahead. They're wailing because of their confusion.
Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. Right. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
There you go, man. So alas, man, for that day is great, and that nothing is going to be like it. So the Lord is building it up as a judgment around the whole world. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, and the wicked are waxing worse and worse. And there's never been this much idolatry on the earth, man. So the Lord has a judgment for all those idols and people that worship them. He's going to judge them and their idols. All right, so that's a major judgment. All the plagues that came upon Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah and Rome and Babylon, all in one place, and Nineveh. Right? And the Tower of Babel.
The Lord recording all that.
All of it, man. He's going to bring it all back in the remix. You know? All right, let's get it. Where we at?
He didn't get to the part of Jacob's trouble.
He said Jacob's trouble.
Oh, okay, so
yeah, so that's what he's talking about. He said when you have no pleasure in them, and that's going to be what? The time of Jacob's trouble. As a nation, you know what I mean? As a person, he's just talking about Don't wait till you get old or wait till you get sick or something happening to you before you start trying to call on the Lord. And he's saying as a nation, you better do it before the time of Jacob's trouble get here. All right, go ahead, brother.
What did he say? Seek me early while I may be found.
That's right, man. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's what this word is too. You all gotta repent. Look at people like Fat Joe. They got him. I remember he was a preacher for a while. Now they got him saying that he snitched on Big Pun or something like that, right? They was messing with it. Somebody put some fake paperwork out. He all over social media, suck my dick. Instead of just like, yo, what happened to Pastor Joe? Now he's just like, now he's just a gangster and shit again. All about the Benjamins. Yeah. You know, he like, look at me, I'm wearing this. He got the watches. Yeah, you see what I'm wearing now? My money has changed. My prices have changed. I'm different. He's like, yo, I'm staying in the light. Now you staying in the dark.
He just started bugging out on that podcast that he got going on right now.
Man. That's right. That money gets on, man. The love of money is the root of all evil. They gotta have that. They got that love in them for that money, for greed.
And then nowadays that money has turned into attention. People are settled for attention now versus the money, man. Man, that's what your boy put that out there on that whole people doing that crate challenge, man. Yeah, they doing all that for attention. And people are, and the only reason why people watch that crate challenge is to watch people fall, man. And that's the mentality of our people. They like to see each other fall, man. They don't like to see each other succeed.
Right, and it's a Masonic pyramid.
Come on, I didn't even think about that.
Yep, this is Proverbs 24:7. This is for the crate challenge. And Fat Joe. Proverbs 24:7. Wisdom is too high for a fool. You can't crate challenge that one. Walk up that one. I bet you're gonna fall. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. They try to walk up them steps, they're gonna fall. All right, and they ain't getting back up.
I would be walking up the steps to the altar, giving your body as a sacrifice, like it says in the scriptures. But you ain't gonna walk up there.
That's too high for people like Fat Joe to get it even. You know, that's it, man. But
just an attention too. There's also a video too of an older Jake woman. She was doing the Jake challenge. And they was doing it on concrete at a gas station, and she fell and bust her head open. And they said she died from that.
Whoa.
You know, so that's just our people indulging in folly. You know, when there's all this stuff going on in the world, man, and they having their focus on something else other than the scriptures.
Right, our people are friends of death. They love it.
They made a covenant with it.
There you go. This one. Yeah, they made a covenant. You know what is it?
I don't know what that is. I know covenant with death. I think it's in Isaiah. Covenant with death.
Yeah, that's what they've done, man. Yep. Esau got the death poison. You got Dr. Death, and then you got the death game. And our people have made a covenant with it. The word covenant just means agreement. You know?
16, 15.
Yeah, 28:15.
Yeah, I got it. This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Verse 14.
Yep.
Wherefore, hear the words of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at an agreement.
Right, and that's people like Fat Joe and them. And the Crate Challenge. They love America, man. They love the dust. They love confusion. They love folly. All right? But you ask them to turn to the Lord, they scoff at you, scorn at you, take forever to come out here, all kind of stuff, man. But you tell them to jump up there and break their damn neck, they're like, shoot, get away. Who next? I got next. You know? Yeah, I'll give you $50. No, I don't even need it. Shit, I got you. I can do this. What was that? What was that again? What was that point?
This Isaiah 28:15. It says, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at an agreement.
Right. So Esau, that spirit. Now on another level, you got Esau, who's death and hell too. You know, and they made a covenant with this place, America. 2/3 of our people. They love this. They love wickedness, man. So anything that deals with folly or games of death, witchcraft, Ouija boards, Candyman and shit like that. You know, what else, man?
Horoscopes
and shit. Yeah, man. Egyptology. gang signs, gangs. They love that shit. Sitting around grave sites. You know?
Yeah.
They made a covenant with it, man. Instead of making a covenant with life, the things that pertain to life. All right.
And that's the thing. Our covenant with life, it says life and death are in the power of the tongue. All right. And those you cleave on to what you like the most. Everything's gonna cleave onto its kind, man.
Right, man. That's right, man. I gotta get that.
What?
Everything's a cleave into his life.
Oh, that's Sirach.
Yeah, we'll get that too. Who on the precept?
I'm still holding that all right, to finish this up.
Okay.
This Isaiah 28:15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Right. This is Sirach. Right on point. Sirach 13:16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like, man. So they cleave to death because that's their reflection. All right. Our people are spiritually dead. The scriptures say that. And what's that? What's up, man?
Nice.
All right, now. So the dead, what the scripture say? They should remain in the congregation of the dead. All right. So they're the dead. They represent the dead, man. So when they see Esau, they're like, oh man, that's me. He's just like myself. That's what they'll say. They're just like them. All right. Or they'll see a pig waddling in the mud, and our people basically saying Esau, and our people will get down there and waddle in the mud with them until you walk up and tell them like, hey man, you're dirty. And then they be like, oh man, I'm tripping. Or someone be like, well, I'm good down here. I'd rather stay in the mud and waddle with the pig. That's in the scriptures, man. All right. Oh, who's there? I got one. Yeah, go ahead, bring that out. Yeah, real quick. This is what? This is the dead cleaving unto its life, man. All right. So that's why they're going down there getting that in their arms, or they going and selling out to the society right now. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 21.
This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right, man. Once they look into a mirror and forget who he was, what manner of man he was. Right? So they wander out of the way of understanding. And it said, oh, I gotta get this, man. What's this?
Yeah, it's right here on the tip of my brain. I can't get it off.
There you go. It says, oh wow, a bunch of them came up. Who was that? Yeah, there you go. James 1:24. All right, bring that out again. Who was that reading?
Me, congregation of the dead.
Yeah. Yeah, he gonna bring this out real quick. All right. Yep, go ahead.
Proverbs 21:16. The man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Here you go. Yeah. So what do? They wander. All right, like a bull straying alone, man, or a lost sheep. And they wander out of the way of understanding off the straight path, and they wander into the affliction and the wickedness. All right, and this is how they do it. They lose sight of their true reflection, who is Yahushua, and they begin to take on a false reflection, which is Esau, or death, what they see in the mirror. Go ahead, brother.
All right, it's the book of James, chapter 1, verse 24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
One more. What is it? Yeah, probably 1:23.
This is James chapter 1, verse 23. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man that beholdeth his natural face in a glass.
Right, there you go. So he behold his natural face in the glass and a reflection. All right, go ahead.
For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forget what manner of man he was.
See that? So they forget what manner of man they were. All right, so they wander out of the way of understanding. And then they go into the congregation of the dead. They wander into the wrong party. They're looking in the reflection. This is the mirror. They're looking in the reflection. This is the looking glass. And they see themselves in it. But then they put it away and they go back into the world and forget what manner of man they will become. That manner of man is who? Yahushua. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 2.
Right.
Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
So us reading these scriptures is a reflection of how we're supposed to be in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Not only reading the scriptures, but taking it apart and making it a part of our life as being a reflection or being the image of Yahushua while he's sitting on the right hand side of the Father, acting in the order that he left behind for us to act in upon him as we're here on this earth until he returns.
Then when he returns, we're going to see him as he is. And by that time, we'll be built up, have spiritual power, and most likely be delivered. And we'll be like him, man. All right, or at least you'll be in the right state of mind, that in your righteous state of mind. All right, and faith. Look at that precept. Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 2. While the sun or light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because they are few.
Oh no, you gotta go back up.
It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh.
Right, man. Before the bad days. Go ahead.
It says, when thou shalt say, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened.
Right. That what's that? The famine of the word. All right. Before the famine of the word hit, you got that. All right. Because right now we're in the time of grace, and that right there, that scripture represents the door of grace closing. All right. The bar can come over here, I think. You know what I mean? Probably go halfway and just signal and come on. Yeah. That's it.
It was the book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Right, man.
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
Woo. So they're gonna run to and fro. Why? Because they ain't gonna find it on the internet. That's the first thing they're gonna take away, man. That internet, man. And that's it. They're gonna take away certain access to the internet. All right. What they call that? Fact checking.
Okay.
Policing the internet. And that's how they're gonna do it. The famine of the word, shutting down pages. The famine of the word already started, really. It's gonna be more and more. It's gonna be more. That when they kick it into high gear and they start shutting down your social media sites, like really shutting them down, not putting you on suspension, they just shut them down. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be offset out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters.
Right. What do you see Jake today? Calling themselves gang banging. What do they call it? Look at Lil Uzi Vert. Those are monsters. That's what the scriptures say. Read that again.
It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places.
Many places. Confusion, man. So that spirit of Babylon is in many places. All right, go ahead.
And the fire shall be offset out again.
Right. So the fire is meaning what? The fire represents judgment. Not just the last days of judgment, but a continual judgment on our people that's being wicked. That's why you see our people getting judged left and right. He said the fire shall be oft sent out, meaning often sent out, man. Go ahead.
And the wild beasts shall change their places,
Right, go ahead.
and mistress women shall bring forth monsters.
Right, menstruous women, wicked women are going to bring forth monsters, man. Somebody you think is a child, but he's going to pull a gun out on you. Or walking around the street, like, what's up, little man? He asks you, what the hell you looking at? Well, they throwing up devil signs and stuff like that, man. Yeah, they're going to be like Stewie, man. Those are monsters, man. You see them today. You see them drinking blood and got swords with blood on it, and they drink it in the rap video. They got devil signs and fake eyes, and you know, that shit's crazy. Those are monsters, man. Yeah. Goddamn monsters. Man.
Remind me of what's that of Belly? Remember the part in Belly where Nas sat down next to the little boy, and the little boy pulled out the gun and pulled out the strap? Yeah.
Perfect example of a monster. You can do a video on that too. Yeah. That's really when it started. Yeah, around that time.
Damn. It says verse 9, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another.
Right, man. Salt water is found in the sweet, man. There's false doctrines out here. You see that? There you go. False doctrines, man. All right, go ahead.
It said, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber.
That's what you call a famine of the word. All right. Now let's go back to okay. So wit talking about what? Wisdom. All right, it's gonna be hidden in that day. The Lord's gonna hide his elect. Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 2. While the sun, I'll start at 1 again. All right, it says, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain.
That's right, man. Yep. Go ahead.
In the day,
the sun and the moon be not darkened. That's talking about wisdom.
Want me to get it?
Revelation
12.
No, it's cool.
Okay.
It's cool. Okay. Yep. Knowledge and wisdom, man.
Good.
All right. You know that by now.
Good. Verse 3, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened.
You gotta do that again. Read that again.
Okay. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
Right. Look at Biden. Look at him. He's trembling right now. The keepers of the house are trembling. Look at Boris Yeltsin. Look at all the keepers of the houses of the different countries in the states. They're all trembling right now. Look at Governor DeSantis. All of them trembling. The Lord got them all under pressure right now, man. Go ahead, brother.
Look at Netanyahu's replacement.
Yeah.
He's going through hell right now.
Yep. They're trying to divide it like they divided here. Netanyahu,
all right. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. What do you say? Biden hanging his head?
Yeah. The strong men. What do you say? The person humble himself that he would catch him by the strong one. It's in Proverbs. They may catch him by his strong ones. All right. Yeah, they're oppressive. Now, don't lose what you got, brother.
No, I got it.
All right. Because the strong ones represent the politicians and the police. All right, and they're submitting to this to the Illuminati, to the banking elites. All right. Yeah, Psalms 10 and 9. Yep. Psalms 10.
This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 9.
Yeah, all the way to 10.
He lie in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He do catch the poor when he draw him into his net.
Right, this is the net that they're casting out right now. All of this is a trap, the snare of the devil, a snare of the fowler, man, the net. All right, go ahead.
He croucheth and humble himself.
Right, that goes back to Noah again. Right, Yahushua is gathering, just like Noah did. We got Esau gathering in his net, you know? Go ahead.
That the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Right, that the poor may fall by the strong one. What's that? The rich, they play off the weaknesses of the poor, and they use it against you. All right, your needs, your wants, your desires, and they'll use it against you. And he said that you may fall by his strong ones. What's the strong ones? The ones that they empower. What's that? America is definitely a strong one that gets its power from who? The dragon. All right, America is that beast that gets its power from the dragon. All right, and their strong ones represent their police submitting and putting hell on you. When they're supposed to protect the Constitution, they're supposed to protect you. They're the servant of the public, but instead they're protecting the government against the public. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 11, he have said in his heart, the Most High have forgotten, he hideth his face, he will never see it.
Right, man, and that's what they're saying. All right, and that's what these Edomites believe. That's it on that. All right, that was it. Wait, yeah, you already read the point. I think you did. Yeah, I read 10. Yep, go ahead.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened.
Right, so the grinders are going to cease. What's that? The jobs. It's going to be what? Unemployment. The unemployment numbers are through the roof right now. And the numbers just came out like 2 months ago. You know? And then you got the back pages that they're shutting down. They call them back page.
Oh no, you're talking about OnlyFans.
OnlyFans page. Oh yeah. The OnlyFans pages, man. That's going to create more unemployment. All right. They said what, Subways? Oh, the Subways jobs application. I think that was Zariah talking about it.
Well, we just had. I just seen a news article this morning that 2 Walmarts have shut down because of dealing with the pandemic and shortage of workers.
Right, man. And the problem is this: ever since the Obama plan, they set it up, Obamacare, to where all these companies, they had to have a certain level of insurance for each person. We were talking about it back then. It made more sense. But you know, Esau was moving quick. But they had something to where they had to pay $5,000 per person for insurance. So that's why they started hiring people. Anyway, I'm messing it up, but it was like they were hiring retarded people. Like old people that was damn near dying off. So they had something with the insurance, man.
Well, those elderly people and people with handicaps are covered under the Medicaid Obama plan part. Right, so therefore, they wouldn't get the tax penalties on. So now what the employers would do, they were forcing them to get the insurance by the company, so they wouldn't have to pay that $5,000. But if you opt out of the insurance, if they offered it, they were offering these people expensive ass insurance that they couldn't afford. So therefore, how they got out of it, it falls back on the citizens. So when you go to do your taxes, they ask you, do you have medical insurance? If you don't have medical insurance under the Obamacare plan, you get a $5,000 tax added to your shit that you have to pay. So it no longer becomes a deductible.
Now humans have become a liability at the corporations. The corporations want to deal with the machine. They don't want to deal with humans. They have rights and stuff like that. They come up in there talking, I got rights. Yeah, they don't want that no more. They want to have robots. You know what I mean? So that's why you hear Elon Musk and them moving towards their robotic systems and all that. You know, they got the Tesla bot. Yeah, that's gonna be serving tables and shit like that. I'm gonna trick that damn bot. I'm gonna be robbing robots on the street and shit.
And the thing about it is, okay, what are the people gonna say? Just on the feel organic. What's gonna come in after that? Your androids. They're gonna be dressing them up to make them look like people, man. This is how wicked and chaotic it's gonna be, man. These individuals, they're gonna be walking around looking like damn people. It was a movie back in the 80s that came out where society was like there was a minimal amount of humans on the earth, and it was being ran by androids, artificial intelligence. With they looked like humans, but they were robots.
Talking about Roddy Piper?
Not that one. I know what you're talking about. They're Among Us. That one. That was
a good one, man.
Yeah. I want to watch that again because I don't really remember.
What was that movie called? Up. There's a movie called Up. Jake movie recently. Yeah, Up or something like that. Us. Yeah, it's like a Jake movie.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He got a hat on, he's like a saxophone player or something like that. And he falls to the damn ground.
Yeah, I ain't see that movie,
He
but I know
goes to the heavens and all that.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
that's about the Disney
Yep.
movie?
That right there is symbolic of living amongst robots. If you see him walking around in the beginning, it was so much chaos. It was like boom, boom, just shooting past him every left and right. And then he just fell in the damn sewer hole.
And the big monsters was like a lost soul or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but more in the sense of robots though. So I'm talking about a society to where you walking up the street, you already got to get out of the way of people, but now you got to get out of the way of a goddamn robot. Especially in New York, busy ass place. Or we went to the damn Walmart the other day, and I had to get out the way because there was a robot coming up the damn aisle, reading the shelves. It's a robot. They got him.
yeah, and a robot's not gonna say, "Excuse me." If your little 2-year-old child is standing there and don't see it,
It's gonna stop like it's just an object in the way.
yeah.
It's gonna wait. Then once they move, it's gonna be like, "Woo." That's it crazy, man. It's crazy, right? But let's keep going. Let's keep rocking up.
All right, this is
I went on a rant right there.
Get back on me.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
There you go. When there's no jobs, man. This is just like that's what you call another lockdown. All right, and this lockdown they do next is gonna be permanent. All right. Go ahead.
It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets.
Right. That's your corporate. That's your businesses. Try to go to the store, they're gonna be shut. All right. Go ahead.
When the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
There you go, man. So that's what the mirth of the damn land and your damn celebrities. All right, your entertainers or Hollywood, witchcraft. Everything's gonna be brought low in this place before the Lord destroys it. All right, and in the midst of that, the Lord gonna raise up His elect and give them power, like we were reading, when the tongues go over their head. Now let's get back to that. The days of Noah, 2 Peter 2:2. We already read that one yet? No. Let's get back to that. 2 Peter 2:2.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2.
Right. But he says in the days of Noah, man. And that word Noah means rest. And we're supposed to enter into his rest. And Yahweh Shai is that rest, man. He's the one that's building the ark.
This is verse 2, right?
Yeah. This is a quick verse.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom of the way truth shall be evil spoken of.
Read that again, brother.
So like it says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
There you go, man. So what's that? 2/3. All right, or the scoffers. All right. Yeah, just like during the time of Noah, when he was prophesying out there, he was telling them, hey man, it's gonna rain. And this was before it had rained upon the earth. There was nothing but the dew or the mist upon the ground that you see in the morning. All right, which comes from the cold at night, and then the sun has to be there. You know, they let you know the sun was made first. People get that confused. All right, but anyway, the sun in the morning, it steams up the cold or the frost from that night, and what you have the dew upon the grass in the morning, or the spring. That's how the Lord used to water the earth and keep the grass wet. But then you still had the sun to do what you would call photosynthesis. All right.
That's a beautiful cycle, because what happens, that explains why in desert-like places it'll be hot as shit during the day, but at night it'll be freezing cold.
Right,
all right, so all that humidity in the air, once the sun goes down and the moon it comes up, all that humidity in the air is going to fall because of the change in temperature. It's going to fall to the ground, and it's going to start to freeze on the ground. And when the sun comes back up, it evaporates the dew and turns that into dew, and you have that mist. That's like that greenhouse effect, kind of, sort of. I got to
I'm gonna say the point though. Where is that? Come on, read.
2 and 2. 2 Peter 2 and 2.
Yep. Look at that.
Read it again. It says, and many shall follow, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
There you go, man. So they're following their pernicious ways. Then during the time of Noah, they were following their pernicious ways, and look what happened. And that was the first death. Now this is the second death. All right, and we represent, you know, the spirit of Noah out here prophesying. Somebody get let's get Matthew. No, let's get the story of it. Genesis 8 and 15. Just a little point real quick. Well, any precept too, you know.
Hey, I should have jumped down in verse and this.
You see something?
Go back.
I got a precept. Good, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. And this is the refreshing that they would not, yet they would not hear.
Where you at? Yeah, where you at?
Isaiah 28 and 12.
All right. Keep going. Yeah. Let me get this real quick.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Genesis 8.
Yep.
All right. This is start at 15.
Yeah.
All right, Con. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 15. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Noah, saying, go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons wives with thee.
Right, and this right here represents Yahushua when he grabbed the elect, Israel, his wife. All right, his wife, and their children, the elect and the 1/3. That's Revelations 21, being prepared as a bride for Yahushua, right? And then being brought down out of the ships, just like with Noah. He had a time where he went into the ship only with a small few, and then you had a time where he came out of the ship, which was a whole nother process, to where he dedicated, set up an altar and prayed to the Lord, man. All right, and the Lord told him to take the clean animals with him, not the bad ones. But in the beginning, he told him to gather clean and unclean. But then, but to come out of the ark and to go into the earth, he said, bring the clean animals. And that represents the elect going into the kingdom. All right, let's get that. Parabolically speaking. Keep going, brother.
All right, Con, verse 17. Bring forth with thee every lying thing that is with thee, living things. So I can. Con, from the top, verse 17. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth.
Right, man. See that? And that's symbolic of Yahushua doing the same thing, man. All right, somebody get that. Let's get that in Matthew 13 to 47. All right, now let's get that with the rest you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
All right, because his ship, you had an ark being built back then for the flood. Now you have an ark being built for fire. All right, and you have to be covered with his spirit. That's the ark. He said he compasses them as with the shield. You know what that's that? Shall compass them as with the shield. Yep, you good. I just need it real quick. How you do that? Yeah. All right. Brief intermission. Now he should compass them as with the shield. I just need that real quick. Amos. We'll get Amos in a minute.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So we're gonna get it first. It's that ark that's being built, man. All right. So somebody get Amos chapter 9, verse 10. While we getting that.
Psalm 5, 12. Psalm 5, 12.
Yeah. Hey, can you continue reading? No, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 5, verse 12. For thou, Yahweh, will bless the righteous with favor, with thou compass compass him as with a shield.
Right, and thou wilt compass him as with the shield, right? All right, so let's read that again a little more clear, brother. Let's lock into the spirit.
This is Psalms chapter 5, verse 12. For thou, Yahweh, will bless the righteous with favor, will thou compass him as with a shield.
Right, so with favor, the Lord going to compass the elect as with the shield, and that shield is the new form of the ark, because you have a spiritual ark. This is what we're going to need to make it through fire, man. The Lord about to destroy this place with thermonuclear destruction by the hands of Iran and Russia. All right. So to get through that, to be able to walk through fire, you're going to need to be covered the same way Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were covered. All right. Who's it? Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, as they were covered in the oven of Nebuchadnezzar, and the Lord was in there with him, and I did a lesson on it called Iceman, because he went in there with him. And he sprayed a mist on them, and the mist turned them cold. So wherever the mist was at, the fire wasn't touching them. A hair on their head, man. That's Iceman powers, man. All right, so that's the real marvel, Yahushua. So that's the covering that we're gonna need. We're gonna need Yahushua's covering, not a physical ark that can burn with fire that was made for a flood. Just like the bulrushes were made for Moses, and they put it in the water. They knew how to put that together so it wouldn't sink. They put pitch to it, oil. But now today, or tar. But today, now the Lord said, what? We're supposed to build up this ark with tempered mortar, not untempered mortar. All right. Okay, so now, and Yahushua is the carpenter. See that? So he's in that spirit of Noah. Go ahead, brother. Who got some? Matthew 13 and 47.
With the Amos 9 and 10.
Yeah. Matthew 13 and 47. And then Amos.
All right. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea.
Right. Just like Noah. Let me get this real quick. Just like Noah, the Lord told Noah to gather what? Good and bad, right? So now the Lord told Yahushua to gather in his spirit. What he said, the spirit has gathered them. Let's get that real quick. Wait, get this. Hold on one second.
It's Jeremiah, it's Isaiah 34 and 16. Somebody get it for me. Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them.
Ooh, so his spirit is what's gathering us, man. That's the net. What do you say? The net is cast, right? The scripture says the net is cast.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A lot is cast. Maybe it's a lot. I'm probably saying it wrong. Oh, the net is cast to the side of Mighty Sea. The side of Mighty Sea. Right? And that's what the Lord go, show them to be who they are as well. So he's gathering us through the spirit. He's gathering the wicked on the left-hand side, according to the book of Matthew, and he's gathering the sheep to the right. All right? You got it? Go ahead. Oh, bring it up? Yeah. All right.
It's back at the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind.
Right. And so right now, what's that? That's Ezekiel 37. That's why you got people like ISUPK out there. That's why you got IUIC. Right? The spirit went out during the time of Abba Bivens, and they gathered all of them. Turned the hearts of the children unto the fathers, and the father to the children. All right, but go ahead. But they have no breath in them. All right, you got to have the breath. And go ahead. Oh, man, let's go ahead and get it, man. Ezekiel 37, where it say the breath. They had no breath in them. And then, I want to get something else right there.
This is Baruch chapter 5, verse 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about towards the east. And behold, thou children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One. rejoicing in the remembrance of Yahweh.
That's the elect. That's not everybody though. That's the elect. The elect are going to be gathered, rejoicing in the remembrance of Yahweh. All right, but the other one said what? The Spirit have gathered them. You know. Let's get this real quick. Yeah. Ezekiel 37.
Start at 5.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
All right, come on. This is the book of Ezekiel 37, verse 5.
Well, you start at 3.
Yeah. Come on, 3. And he said unto me, son of man.
Gather into the barn. That is well, yeah.
Come on, Ezekiel 37 and 3. And he said unto me, son of man, can these bones live? And I answer, O Lord, Yahweh, thou knowest. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus said,
right, that's the Spirit. Right? See that? His Spirit represents the prophesying. All right, the dry bones represent Israel having no water and no flesh to cover them with. All right, go ahead. And being dead.
All right, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live.
All right, so yeah, so what did he say? He said, stand upon their feet, a great exceeding army, but they had no breath. All right, they had no breath in them. But the Lord promised us that it was going to be some that's going to have the breath. All right, but there's an army called Israelites. That's what they call unity camps. All right, go ahead. But what it say? All flesh shall cling unto their light, cleave unto their light. That's the unity camps of the dead. All right, let's keep this fire, yo. Where we at?
Come on. Verse 6.
What? Thanks.
Keep going.
I'm not sure where you at.
He said he put the sinews on them, but they didn't have the breath in them.
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right, Con. I'm gonna start at verse 6 again. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with sinews, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise. Behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above.
Right, that's Jake finding out that they're Israelites. Go ahead.
But there was no breath in them.
Right, but they had no breath. All right, they might know that they're Israelites, but they don't know. They're not moving in the Spirit, right? In truth, the right way. All right, that's why the Lord says, "Judge a tree by its fruits, man, and try every spirit by the Spirit." All right, go ahead, brother. That was it. He said, but they had no breath in them, man. All right, let's get so that's the Spirit gathering them, and just like now, let's go to this real quick. Yeah, we say gather into the barn. Yep. All right, you want me to go straight to the point of it? That's right, man. Because ultimately, Yahweh Shai gonna gather his elect, the good fish, or the good animals, the clean animals, or should I say clean creations. He's gonna gather them into his barn. The barn represents the chariots. Oh, look at that. I don't know where. All
right, this is Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field.
Right, so we're moving in a parabolic sense right now. That's what we're speaking on. All right, parable, mystery. And he says, like, sow good seed in his field. That seed represents the Spirit of truth. All right, go ahead. That's the breath.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
There you go. They sowed in their wicked seed, their philosophies and ideology. All right, and mingled it into with our people.
And went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Right, man. So right now we're in the time of that, the time of harvest. And what we just read in Ezekiel, that the wicked appeared too. Wow. So that's you standing right next to Cesariak. You standing next to Sakari or IUIC and them, man. Or you'll see TD Fakes and all them presenting themselves false prophets. You see that? Right with you. You right there, like, yo, no, I'm the real deal. Like Paul had to say.
God.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 27. So the servant of his household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have these tares? And he said unto them, An enemy have done this.
Right, so an enemy did it, man. And that's talking about Esau, all right, with their philosophies and their agenda. All right, go ahead.
The servant said unto him, Will thou then that we go and gather them up?
That's the way you got the Black Panthers. They want to go kill everybody.
Uh.
All right, you want us to go get them?
Uh.
You know, go ahead.
But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather together the tares, ye root up also wheat with them.
Right, so that's why we're not supposed to be on some Black Power shit. All right, so we don't know who's who. Our job is to what? Do like he told Peter to do, to teach to the sea of people and to go out and fish for our people, the spirit, and gather them into the net. And the Lord, it was Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai and the angels are going to do the separation. All right, just like he told Noah, and the Most High controlled the whole separating process. All right, come on, once again, come on. Wow.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to the pulling down of strongholds.
Right.
Come on, just going further in the point that the elder said, we ain't got to be like the Black Panthers, man. We ain't got to pick up guns and go about this kingdom carnally, man, because our weapons are spiritual. That's how we pull down this stronghold, so-called America, man.
Right. Scripture tell you that man's wrath worketh not the will of Yahweh. All right. His will deals with patience and long suffering. And the Lord waiting for the precious fruit of the earth.
And think about it like this. If you gun down all the Edomites right now, right? But think about it, you still got 2/3 of our people in that same mindset. So they'll keep this system afloat because they learned it from the heathen. So they made a covenant with death. So death is still going to flourish on this earth, man.
Right. If Esau was out the way, there would be a persecution upon the believers of Yahweh. Jacob would be right at us. It would be lawlessness, but we would be right at them too.
Yeah.
So that's why the Lord got Esau in place. He got their police.
He the one. He the one.
He the warden, man. He got their policies in place. Police.
All right, verse 30 of Matthew 13 and 30. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
Right, man. All right, so bind them in bundles to burn them. And that's them being cast or turned into the lake of fire or to be destroyed. That fire that's being off sent out. All right, it don't have to be the lake of fire. The Lord can send you your own personal lake of fire. All right, just in the flame, meaning judgment. All right, and when that person died, that's the end of their world, as they know it. All right, we just said a point though. Oh, they're gonna gather them into the barn. All right, so you're gonna gather the elect into the barn, man. The barn represents the chariot, just like he told Noah to gather the good and the unclean into the ship, and then when they come out, to only bring the clean out. All right, let's get that. What was that? Genesis 8, right? Genesis 8. Yes, come on, Russ. Genesis 8.
17.
Nah, it was.
It's not the 17.
That's right. You want me to start back at 16? Just catch the point.
Oh no, you already got all that. You already read the point. Yeah, you already read that. You already read that point. Let's get what was you reading? You was reading the gather, remember? Matthew, yeah. No, it was Matthew 13 and 47.
13 and 47?
Yeah, Matthew 13, 47.
All right, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 47. Again, the kingdom is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind.
Right, the sea represents the people. All right, and what he told Peter, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. All right.
Which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels.
Right,
but
I got time. But what's the shore? The shore represents what? The Shemayim, the heaven. So the elect are going to be gathered into the Shemayim in the chariot. Are you going to draw them to shore? All right, go ahead. He said what? Read that again.
Which when it was full, they drew to shore.
Right, what's that? Standing upon the firmament. All right, now can you get Genesis where it says the firmament divide the water from the water? You want to get it first?
I got 15.
The Revelation? Yeah, you get that?
This is start from the top to get to the point.
I'll get to the point.
This is Revelations chapter 15. I'm gonna start at verse 2. And I saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that have gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the hearts of Yahweh.
Yeah, there you go. So they're going to be standing on the firmament. That's the elect. They're going to be taken up into the chariot. All right? They're going to be grabbed up, taken, or beamed up into the chariots, standing on the firmament. That's today in parabolic sense. That represents the barn or being gathered ashore. All right? Somebody get that firmament?
All right, Khan. This is the book of Genesis 1 verse 7.
Right.
6.
Khan. And Yahweh said, "Let there be a firmament in the
That's two M's.
Firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
There you go. Yeah, but so the firmament, right, in the midst of the waters to divide the waters from the waters. So the Lord is saying down here is waters too. So he's gonna pull us ashore, which means the chariot outside of the firmament. You see that? All right.
He had a light bulb go off just then.
Yeah. Welcome, brother. Welcome. All right, now let's get it.
All right, it's back at St. Matthew chapter 13, verse 48.
Right.
Which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels.
Right, man. Second Ezra 9, where it say, here the number of those that be sealed. Man, you know, that's the fullness. Revelation 7. Yeah, let's get that. Yeah, I think it should be up top. You know, I don't know the numbers, but I know the direction. So no, it could be Revelation. Yeah, or 21. Yeah, I think it's no. What about Second Ezra chapter 2?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There you go.
2 and 41. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled.
That's right. All right. No, verse 38.
38.
That's right, man.
All right. This Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 38. Arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world and have received glorious garments of the Lord.
There you go, man. That's the glorious garments. All right, that's the newness. All right, go ahead. Receive glorious garments. That's the new bodies. The elect, man. Standing upon the firmament, upon the shore. Go ahead.
It says, which are departed from the shadow of the world and receive glorious garments of the Lord. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white.
Right, and Zion represents the foundation of mountain or government of Israel. All right, and the elect are going to represent that government. All right, the governance, or what you would say, what's the word, man? I can't think of the word, man. Not a governor, but delegate. Delegate. That's right, the delegates, man. That's what the elect are going to be, the delegates over the nation. All right, keep going. So that's the number. He said what? To the fullness. So the number was full. So the net was full. What's the net? The net represents the number of Israel, the elect. All right, go ahead.
I got interjection on it.
Yeah, interjection then. Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Almighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right, man. And being upon his shoulders means he's gonna carry us. All right.
Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom.
Right, right. And what that means is righteousness. All right. It says his throne should be a scepter of righteousness, man. So it's going to increase forever.
Okay. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
Right. Just like he promised Abraham. He said, yo, when Abraham, who was that? Was that Abraham? Or was that Joseph? Or Jacob? That was Jacob. They went into Egypt with 70 souls. That was Jacob.
That's when they pulled for called for Jacob to come.
Yeah, from the famine.
Yeah.
But then they left out with like 600,000 people.
Yeah.
That was the number. It was 600,000 people that came out of Egypt. All right, that was in there getting tormented by Ramses the First. So so he promised them that. He said, yo, I'm gonna start you off with just 70 souls. All right. Or look at Abraham and Isaac and Ishmael. Just from that, he created the sand of the sea. Now he promising us this, right? The Spirit. He promised Yahushua that he was going to increase in righteousness. What's that? The children of Israel. We represent that righteousness, not the animals, not the earth, not the trees.
What does it say? And all thy children shall be righteous.
All our children shall be righteous, man. He said the Lord going to hasten it in that time. So if he hastening our population, not depopulation, right? If he hastening that from a small number, a remnant, it's going to increase forever. That means we're going to increase as people, as a nation, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
Right, so that's why we're going to have to go out to the heavens, because this earth can't hold all of us. That's why you have the reason for death. If not, everybody that's out in the heavens, they'll be here right now on the earth. You see that? So the Lord has everything in process of time, just like childbirth. Just like they all can't be in the womb at the same time. We all can't be on this earth at the same time, man. Until the Lord gives us power to do so, and allows us to go into the heavens and depopulate some of the earth, like Esau's trying to do. He's going to do that by shaving off some of the excess, which is Esau. 1,000 years, they're going to be gone. Think about how much earth going to be open from that point. A whole nation of people gone. That's what Esau thinking today. They want to do away with us. But the Lord going to flip it. All right?
It says, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with...
Right, so David going to be back on this earth, and Yahushua going to give the order to it. All right, by the will of Yahweh. Go ahead.
And with justice from henceforth, even forever, the zeal of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of hosts will perform this.
Right, man, his zeal, his compassion is going to perform it. The same Yahushua that came over here flipping over tables are the money changers. The same one. He's going to show with that same zeal to perform this. That's why I say he's going to lament like a woman in travail. A woman in travail is a woman in pregnancy, but he's a lion. So he's going to be roaring. It's going to shake the heavens and the earth. It's going to make Esau shit on themselves, just like Belshazzar. He shitted on himself, man. Bowels got weak.
This is so. This is second Ezra.
That shit opened up like a damn pinball machine.
For real. The second Ezra chapter 2, verse 39, verse 40. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord.
Right. So we're being clothed in white. All right. Given a white stone, forgiveness. All right. And he said, shut up that number, right? Keep going, bro. That was it?
No, that's not it. All right, go ahead. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed.
There you go, man. That's what this is all about. It goes into Daniel chapter 9. All right, so that he may anoint the most holy. The same one that he showed up to anoint during the times of the Roman Empire with Yahushua. And he set up his disciples from Peter and Paul, who they were speaking to. They're set up today to be what? To be holy, hallowed, to be set apart. That's what the word hallowed means. So we have to. So that's what the Lord is waiting for the remnant of the precious fruit of the earth. And the scriptures say he have long patience for it, man. He's been waiting for it. All right, so that's the number of the fulfillment of Israel coming together, of being gathered. He said in the net, N-E-T, the net. All right, and once that net is full, you're gonna pull them ashore and do the separation. 2/3 is gonna be left, man. All right, go ahead, brother. That was it. Oh, my bad. The birth.
I got the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 48, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
There you go. That's what we just read. They're going to gather the good into the barn. They're going to cast the bad away, just like he did with Noah. He told Noah when he came out of the ship, take the clean animals with you. All right, you couldn't deal with the unclean animals no more. Like Yahushua, he ain't gonna let Yahushua deal with the unclean animals. Right now, Yahushua is wrestling with the unclean animals, man. He's wrestling with people like Polite and all them, man. All right. I said Polite. Hell no. Hell no. I meant to say Nate. IUIC and all that, right? But the Lord is wrestling with him, though. He is, he's wrestling with all of them. All right. What's up? Well, all right.
I don't know if you got it next. Matthew 25. Sheep and the goat.
No, we can bring that out right after this. Right after this. All right. So I'll read it one more time.
So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just.
Ooh, just like they did with Elijah. But only thing is, Elisha wasn't wicked. But it showed you that power of separation. When the angel, he said, I see the chariot. They saw the chariot show up, and Elijah was standing this close to Elisha, and the angel separated him with a whirlwind. And he took Elijah up into the heaven. Same thing gonna happen with Jake here. One gonna be taken and the other gonna be left. All right, go ahead.
And shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
There you go. They're gonna be what? Wailing and gnashing of teeth. And that's twofold, because in the military, they're going to be, martial law, they're going to be grabbing people too. All right, you got Satan angels that's going to be grabbing people and separating. They're going to say, oh, he got it. Oh, he got it, right? Okay, he turned into a zombie. Let's grab him. Oh, this person didn't get it. Okay, let's grab him and put him in concentration camp. And then you got the angels, the righteous angels, that's going to do a separation. So, let's keep going.
All right, back at Matthew 13 and 49. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
All right, man. So the wicked are people that still in these churches, the people that still celebrate these holidays. All right, calling themselves African Black when they're Israelites. Okay, the Most High's name is Yahweh, his son named Yahushua, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, what's up, brother? Shalom. Shalom. All right, so now you have the spirit you have the spirit that's doing that separation first. That's called the Sith. Okay, look at that, Amos chapter 9, verse 8. This is the first gathering into that spiritual ark and the sealing up of the doors, like he did with Noah. 9 and 10.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Right, so they're the ones that's saying it ain't gonna happen. Where is your God? Where are the prophecies? It ain't gonna happen, right? And they're saying it ain't nothing gonna happen to them. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. What he said, they're gonna be. Go ahead, keep going.
All right, verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruin, and I will build it as in the days of old.
There you go. So he's gonna do that through edification. But then also he said, what? He's gonna close up the breaches. That means he's gonna seal up the truth. So only the elect can get it. But then you're gonna have another process to where the gathering is gonna happen. You have the spiritual gathering, and it's gonna be manifested into physical. So where the angels are the reapers. All right, the Lord gonna send the angels and they're gonna reap. And you're gonna have go ahead, look at that real quick. The bar.
This is Matthew chapter 25. I'm gonna start at verse 31. It says, and when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them.
Right, the throne of his glory. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Right? That means then shall he begin to judge in righteousness. Then shall he make all the enemies his footstool. All right, that's his throne. Go ahead, brother.
And before him shall be gathered all nations.
Right, all nations are being gathered before him today. And it's going to be physical. Go ahead.
And he shall separate them one from another.
Now they're going to be separated one from another, man. This is very important. That's what it means that the righteous may be hallowed, meaning separated. Go ahead.
As a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goat.
That's right, man. The shepherds don't play about that. All right, dividing the sheep from the goat. That's very important. All right.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
There you go, man. All right, so the Lord is the controller of the cattle. He's gonna set 2/3 of our people on the left. Spiritually, we say he set the world in their heart. I have set the world in their heart. Oh, shit. All right, so he set them on the left-hand side. With Esau. Real quick. Let me get this real quick. All right, he set the world in their heart. Yeah. Yeah. Got it. That's what it is.
All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 11. It says, he have made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he have set the world in their heart.
Right.
So that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end. Woo!
Right, man. So he gotta literally come and wake you up, man. What do you say? Blessed are your eyes and your ears for they hear. He said that the Lord will heal them. You know, they ain't wake up to the truth because the Lord didn't want to heal them. That they should be converted and the Lord should heal them. All right, read that again, brother.
Oh, this is Ecclesiastes.
So the Lord said he set the world in their heart, man.
Chapter 3, verse 11.
Right, that's predestination.
It says, he have made everything beautiful in his time.
Right.
Also, he have set the world in their heart.
Right, gross darkness. Go ahead.
So that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end.
Right, they cannot find it out. I don't care how much they search for it. You go to universities, you go to vocab. Huh? Yeah, okay.
This is Matthew chapter.
You can go to your Egyptian seminaries, your seminary art schools with vocab and them, whatever you want to do. You can go out to the heavens, you can go under the earth, you ain't gonna find this truth. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 13. I'm gonna start verse 15. But this people heart wax grow, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. At least at any time they shall see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their hearts and shall be converted, and I will heal them. Verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
Right, see that? All right, you was holding something earlier?
I have one more verse.
Yeah, let's see what that is for now. Right, so now, who's reading earlier? You said the heart. Remember, you said the world in the heart, but it was mentioned with this, I think. I think it was this. Yeah. The last verse was that.
So cast them into the furnace of fire, this will be well in the nationality. That's right.
I think so. Yeah.
No. Amos 9 and 10. Because the sinners, all the sinners of my people. Who was reading Amos? All right, then Amos 9 and 10. That's where it was. Because it's closing up the way of truth.
All right, Amos 9 and start at 10 again. All right, Amos 9 and 10 again. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Right, the tabernacle of David represents love. That's what the word David means, the word, agape, or love, right? It means order. So the Lord going to raise up the tabernacle of his order, all right, after the spirit of David. What was David? A man after his own heart. So he's going to raise up men that are like-minded like him. All right, go ahead. That's a tabernacle, the house of David.
All right.
That's a spiritual house.
Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Oh, that was it. So that's the sip. That's the separation. So where 2/3 are choosing this world in their minds, the Lord has set the world in their heart that they cannot find out nothing, man. They basically in darkness all the way until the end. All right. That's good.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. Keep going. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the hearts of man the things which Yahweh have prepared for them that love him. And that's just going to what the elder was talking about, the tabernacle of David, which means the tabernacle of love or his order. But 2/3 of our people have the spirit of this world, and that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said in their mind. All right, verse 10, it says, but Yahweh hath revealed unto us by his spirit, for the spirit searches all things, yea, the deep things of Yahweh. For what knoweth man the things of man, save the spirit of man, which is what in him. Even so, the things of Yahweh knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yahweh. So 2/3 of our people only have the spirit of man, the spirit of this world, so they can't know what's for to come. But the ones that have the true spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are going to know what's for to come. Come on, that's what's going to say. Yeah. All right, it says, for what man knoweth the things of man, save the spirit of which is in him. Even so, the things of Yahweh knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yahweh. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given unto us of Yahweh. So now that's having the minds open, because what did the bar just read? Blessed are your eyes and blessed are your ears, because you see and you hear. All right, and that blessing comes from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and putting us in order and revealing unto us the things that are for to come.
Right, man. All right, let's get Matthew 24. Well, no, look at Genesis 7 and 12. Because we're still focusing on as in the days of Noah, man. All right, and entering into the Lord's rest. Can we get that now? The rest? Can we already bring that up?
Isaiah 28.
Yeah.
Oh,
We brought it out twice already?
We didn't
Stop
finish it.
second time, right? Stop. Yeah. All right, let's get that in a minute. Genesis 7 and 12.
I got it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40. God. Genesis 7 and 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark.
There you go, man. All right. You at Genesis 7 and 12?
That was 13.
13? All right, keep going.
Verse 14. They and every
Right. So today that would represent the children of Israel, you know, and all the elect, or Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, being a bride or a woman or the mother, you know. All right, going into the ark. The ark represents the spiritual ark, his rest. Right, get that Isaiah? You know, because the word Noah means rest.
It's Isaiah chapter 28, verse 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith he may cause the weary to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Right, man. All right. And then let's get keep going back to Genesis again.
Con.
Let's make it Hebrews 4 and 3.
Genesis 7 and 14. Hey, and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. Verse 15, and they went into Noah, into the ark. They went in unto Noah into the ark.
Look at this, like the elect going up into the chariots to Yahushua, right? Into this truth as well.
Verse 15, and they went unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Ooh, look at that parabolically, wherein is the breath of life. See, the breath of life got to be in us today. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15, and they went unto Noah into the ark, 2 of 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went, and they that went in, male and female, of all flesh.
There you go. Right, that's talking about the men, women, and children. Like the elect, all right? Revelations 7. Somebody will get that? Small multitude as well. That's last. That's right.
This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Right, the winds represent the destruction. All right, go ahead. The missiles.
All right, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their forehead.
Right, that's talking about the elect. All right, go to this mixed multitude.
All right.
All right, it says 12,000 from each tribe. That's the government. But then you still got the 1/3, which represents the men, women, and children. All right, go ahead.
All right, this is verse 9. It says,
they still have to have the breath in them.
It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Right, you speak on it real quick?
All right, basically, and that mixed multitude of individuals were Israelites that were gathered amongst all the nations. That's not talking about the heathens being gathered unto, because the key point of that, they all had on white robes, all right? And the white robes represents righteousness, and the palms. And that goes back to 2nd Ezra chapter 2. They all were given crowns and had palms. So Yahushua, that's Yahushua anointing his elect. And that mixed multitude are the men, women, and children that were believers that saw the miracles, that believed back in the time during Yahushua, and we're here today to reap their reward that was promised to them.
Great, man. All right, let's go back to that Genesis real quick. Like,
All right.
watch this, man. It's deep. We might get Revelation 15 again, too. Yeah, we're good.
All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 15. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Right, that's the elect going into the chariots. Go ahead.
Verse 16, and they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as Yahweh had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Verse 17.
So he shut him in. See that? That's Amos chapter 9, verse 10. The Lord sealed up the way. All right, that's the elect getting into this truth, and then ultimately into the chariots. All right, look at Big Mouth. Big Burger coming down the street. Nickname probably Cheeseburger. My bad, man. Come on, man.
All right, verse 17.
That's damn rude, man.
And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased.
Right, so the flood, after this happened, the flood was 40 days upon the earth, right? So after this happened, the flood was, hey, the bar ain't shit, man. That's fucked up, man.
It's both of y'all.
I gotta blame somebody. What's up?
It's funny that that was my nickname growing up.
How's your nickname?
How about that,
But y'all listen, so you know why. I
Well,
got
you ain't look like that growing up,
Hey, look, you know, but check it out. So now, so he said what? The flood, now the flood was upon the earth. So this is after the flood. Now the flood was upon the earth now. See that? That's a process, man. We're witnessing it. And the scriptures say this deliverance is going to be as in the days of Noah. So let's get that. The flood was upon the earth, right? Let's get that. Revelation 15 again.
This is back in Revelations,
Right.
chapter 15.
Yep.
I'm gonna start at verse 2 again.
Yep.
It says, and I saw,
They had their dream. Oh, yeah.
and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that have gotten the victory over the beast.
Right, man. So it's gonna be mingled with fire. So that means right when the missiles hit, according to Revelation 11, like we read earlier, they're gonna see the fire coming up, and the righteous shall scarcely be saved. You see that? Just like being in the ark, and look, imagine that you looking at the ark, you can't really see, but you know you floating on some damn water, and the Lord told you it was gonna happen, and everybody gone, just you. You know, you sitting up there. That's how it's gonna be being on the firmament, and you realize it's just you in the elect. Go ahead. That's right here.
This is Psalms chapter 126, verse 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then said them among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south, that they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth in weeping, he that goeth forth and weep, bearing precious seeds, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him.
Right. Right. Now the point where it said, be as those that dream, right? That's right, man. All right. So it's gonna be as those that dream. All right. Read that part again. The dream part.
All right. It says this is Psalms 26 and 1. It says, when the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream.
Right. But it was like them that dream. All right. It's gonna be like you having a dream. But then what? Keep going. You're gonna realize it at some point. All right. Go ahead.
Then was our mouth filled with laughter.
Right. You're gonna see the fire mingle. You're gonna see the firmament mingle with fire, just like Noah saw the flood. He said that the flood was on the earth 40 days from that point. Go ahead.
It says, then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing.
Right. Then at that point, you're going to realize it. And your tongue going to be filled with singing, man. The Lord going to fill your mind and your heart with joy. But guess what? 40 days would be like a month and a few days. Now the Lord said when we up in the chariots, it's going to be just about that long. Let's get that real quick. Isaiah 34. All right. Isaiah 34 and 8. Because the elect will get taken up into the chariot, as we read in Revelation 11, and then they're going to get brought down, according to Revelation 21, from the chariot. All right, but it's going to be at least a month or so long, man.
Okay. This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 8.
Right, because mind you, I'm going to stop you a lot, though. When they got taken up, they saw the fire mingle with the firmament, right? Just like Noah saw the flood. Keep going, brother.
It says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
Right, man. So the controversy of his nation, right, of his kingdom. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 9, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch.
There you go. So that's your lake of fire. All your oceans and your streams and river, they're gonna be turned into burning hot lava from the dirt that's under it. And all the water gonna melt away. Go ahead.
And the dust thereof into brimstone.
There you go. See the dust, your grounds out here is gonna be in the buildings. They're gonna be turned into brimstone, man. All right, which we'll call burning coals. Go ahead.
and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
There you go, burning pits, just like Babylon. Because look, the ground is made of what? Nothing but tar. All right, petroleum, which is gasoline in a sense. And you hit it with nuclear energy, it's gonna turn this place into lava. All right, go ahead.
Verse 10, it shall not be quenched night nor day.
Right, so you would think if somebody have a fire on the earth, they're gonna put it out, but the Lord is gonna let it burn out by itself. And that's gonna take a long time from a nuclear fire, man. Go ahead, brother.
The smoke thereof shall go up.
Right, we're talking about the destruction of this place that's about to happen according to prophecy. All right, go ahead.
The smoke.
Yeah, go ahead.
The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Yeah.
From generation to generation.
Right, that's what he said. We're gonna look at ourselves in shame. You know, that's Psalms. That's the Song of Solomon. I think chapter 1, if I'm not mistaken. But we have to get it. But he said we're gonna look at ourselves in shame in the kingdom. We're gonna be in the kingdom and look back on America and how we were. And we're gonna be like, damn, we were wicked, man. You know, we're gonna see Babylon burning for a long period of time. That's why it says forever, basically for a long period of time. You're gonna see the smoke of her burning going up. And you're gonna be able to tell your children's children about it. All right, go ahead, brother.
From generation to generation,
See?
it shall lie waste.
There you go, generation to generation. All right, go ahead.
None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Right, it's called that the bad land, no man's land, right? Yeah, and the scriptures say that what this used to be a place of commerce.
God.
All right, Babylon, man.
Neither shall Arabian pitch their tent there.
Neither shall Arabian pitch their tent, meaning nobody's gonna be able to set up stores or do business with this place anymore. Arabian is not talking about an Arab; it's talking about somebody that used to dwell in a deserted land, but they come and sleep on your doorstep. Yeah, that's an Arabian. Or they set up a business on your doorstep. Let me finish the roof. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 11. The cormorant.
Cormorant. Yeah, they got cormorants out here. They're the birds that come out in the morning and you'll see them looking like Daniel's son. They got their arms out like this. Not the crane, but the ones that be like that. They be sunbathing in the morning by the swamp. The Lord said they're unclean animals. That's why he said it's going to be a place of unclean animals. America. Because the only thing that's going to last in the midst of a nuclear destruction and that fervent heat is a swamp animal. All right? Most of the swamp animals, man. Lizards and shit like that. Right, go ahead.
The cormorant and the bitterness shall possess it.
Right, the bittern.
Bittern. Like it. The cormorant and the bittern shall possess
See
it.
that? This is all why we why the elected in the chariots. Mind you, this is after the destruction. So this is all on the earth by the elect are in the chariots. All right, go ahead.
The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it.
Right, the great owl, that's mainly located here in America. Right? That's another way you can find out Babylon.
And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion.
Whoa, he's gonna stretch out upon this place. He's gonna say, this is Babylon. And right now, people don't believe it. In that day, they're gonna realize that this was Babylon, that the scripture was talking about. This is it right here. I'm gonna put a line around it. It's gonna be a lake of fire. Right?
And the stones of emptiness.
Stones of emptiness, man. Keep going.
Verse 12. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there.
None shall be there. All right, they're gonna be looking for Trump. They're gonna be looking for Biden. All the politicians. They're gonna be up in what you call that? The jet they be using, or they try to hide in their bunkers. Yeah, Air Force One. They're gonna try to hide in their bunkers. They're gonna try to hide in their space stations. All right, but ain't nobody gonna be here in America. That goes with Revelation, where it say the merchants gonna be standing afar off at the destruction. We ain't gotta get it, but yeah. All right, go ahead.
And all her princes shall be nothing.
Right, all her princes, man. That's right, man. All the people that got lifted up in this place, all their founding fathers. All this shit is nothing, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. And thorns shall come up in her palaces.
Whoa, so how long it take for that? A few months at least. At least a month or so, and you'll see thorns start to rise up.
That's when the angels start taking over the building.
That's what's happening right here, according to scripture. All right, he says it's gonna be thorns rising up by the time the elect come down out of chariot. Go ahead.
Nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof.
See that? So imagine a fortress like the White House, and it gets destroyed, and then now you're seeing trees and stuff going through it, like on I Am Legend. You know, That was Jurassic Park and stuff like that. Jumanji. That what this scripture is right here. That's right, man. That's right. So it's gonna be a desert place, man. Deserted land. All right. Go ahead. That was it. Another point.
And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the land, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow.
That's talking about these different swamp animals. You can look up each one of those animals.
Wow.
And they're basically lizards, and a lot of lizards, they like heat. You know, they do better in the heat. There's a certain lizard, I forgot the name of it, but it likes 100-degree weather. It actually does better and moves quicker when it's hot.
Wow. To be honest with you, like a lot of people have iguanas for pets, but they have to have a heat lamp in the cage because iguana adaptation is really like 90+ degree weather.
Yeah. We're about to shut it down on this topic though. Yeah, we still probably shut it down on this. All right, so where we at? I got a precept. Hey, bring it up real quick.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdom, and the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there.
Right. That means nobody gonna be able to do business with this place. It's gonna be out of commission.
Neither shall the shepherds make their foals there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures.
Right, when the missiles hit, just like what's that called? Yellowstone?
Mm-hmm.
You see how the animals going there running all over the place.
Yeah.
And when the missile hit, just like what was that movie, man? Like Last Days type of movie. It was a flood. But this is gonna be fire, man. All the animals gonna be running all over the damn place. All right.
It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures.
Right. That's all these. They're really talking about the mansions and the ghettos. All right. It's gonna be nothing but desert animals there now.
An owl shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Right. Just like Jerusalem looked for a long time, but we got ran out of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem got destroyed. Man, it was empty. And now this place is gonna be like that.
Just like how, because during the time of the Maccabean revolt, it had been like 2 years before Judas and them had been to Jerusalem. So when they were going to they were heading somewhere, but they said, "Come, let us stop off in Jerusalem." When they stopped up in Jerusalem, they had talked about how the grass that grew up in the sanctuary and the altar was filled with different grass and stuff like that. But it had been so long since they had been in there, so they had to clean everything up. But ain't gonna be no cleaning up. Everything this is how this place is gonna be forever, man.
Ain't gonna be nobody to tend to this place.
Verse 22. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her times is near to come, and her days shall be not prolonged.
Right, man. So even the islands, Jamaica, Hawaii, they all gonna have desolate animals there too. There's gonna be destruction that goes to all them places, man. World War III. All right. Just like in these damn hurricanes, you see these vacant ass houses on the Haiti earthquake. You see how I look over there? You know, the scriptures say these missiles gonna shake the whole earth. All right. So let's get one more precept. Hebrews 4:3.
This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 3. For we which have believed do enter into his rest. As he said, I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world.
There you go, man. So that's what this is about, this lesson. Entering into the rest of the Lord, man. That's his the art. That's the spiritual art. Entering into the rest spiritually and then ultimately physically. To be protected from the flood. Like Noah was, but this time is to be protected from what? The fire, the second death. All right. Anybody know what that says? Say, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna get this.
This is Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, all ye meek of the earth. which have wrought his judgment, seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So ultimately, that would be the elect that would seek righteousness and meekness, because in order for them to be hid for the Lord's anger is by going in those chambers in the sky. All right, that apartment in the sky, man. All right, because the Lord going to deal with 2/3 of these heathens in His wrath, man. And like a prayer that King David always says, man. Lord, rebuke me not in your anger, man. Because when the Lord is pissed off, all right, he don't have no respect of persons, man.
Somebody get Second Peter 2:5. Yeah.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. It says, and spare not the old world, but save Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
That's right, man. So he said Noah, a preacher of righteousness, right? So he was doing the same thing we doing. We out here preaching, right? The righteousness of Yahushua. And he was warning our people. How long? 120 years. 120 years, man. Can you imagine that? You know what I'm saying? So now we've been going since the time of our Bivens.
About 50 years.
Yeah, and people can't even hang on that long.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So Noah was a preacher of righteousness, just like us, man. Scriptures say that. But that against the kingdoms of old, he always raised up prophets. Yeah. Before you bring them down, I guess we'll wait on that. Right, man, because that's why the Lord raised us up. That's a sign before He brings down any kingdom, and before He delivers His elect, all right, his chosen ones. He always wakes up prophets to warn the people, man, so they have a fair chance. All right, we're gonna bring out these two precepts and that'll be it. Yep.
Fine. This is the book of Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of war and evil and pestilence. Like it.
Right. So the prophets that have been before us, they've done the same thing we're doing now. Look at Noah. They prophesied of what?
Against many countries, against many kingdoms.
Against many kingdoms. He did that. That's what Noah was doing.
Of war.
Right. Go ahead.
And of evil and pestilence.
Well, it was the Lord warring against the people. All right. And of evil, what's that? The flood. That was the bad times, right? And also warning the people to stop being wicked at that time. And he said, and a pestilence, man. And that flood was a pestilence. It was a form of a pestilence. And now, somebody get the definition of pestilence? It's like a plague, man. That was like the times of Egypt with Moses. All right. And yeah, and that's it, man. So I thought you get the point. No. Let's bring out the last precept from there.
Looking at pocket time, look up precepts. I ain't got my phone.
Yeah, we're looking at the word pestilence real quick. Whoever get it. Yeah, either one. Bible definition.
This is pestilence. This is a fatal epidemic disease.
It's a fatal epidemic. All right, a disease. Right, a disease. Right, ain't that what we're hearing today?
It says especially bubonic plague.
Right. See that evil times, and now we're prophesying about all of this.
And some synonyms for pestilence is sickness, epidemic, pandemic, the pest.
Pandemic. Come on with it. All right. That's it on that. Let's get Malachi 4:1, but also let's get this first, Malachi, and then we're done. Yeah, Malachi, we're done with this topic. Anybody want any context?
Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. Yep. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
We're doing the same thing that Noah was doing. Telling these people, man, the day is coming that shall burn as an oven. He was telling them the day is coming that's going to flood and drown the people in judgment. All right? Bringing floods upon the ungodly. That's what it said. And now he's bringing fire upon the ungodly. All right? Bring this one. All
right, this is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter down into thy chambers.
Right, this is the elect. He said, come, my people. You're welcome to show up, spiritually and physically. All right, come to him. Go ahead.
Come, my people, enter down into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
Right, this is when the elect get taken into the chariots, or what we call the arks of heaven, the ships that sail upon the seas, which would be the Shemayim. All right, and the shore would be the firmament, or the chariots, and then the captain of the sea would be Yahushua. All right.
It said, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity.
There you go, man. He's coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, man.
The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
There you go, man. With that, we're gonna end it. We're gonna say, Ka,
Allah, La, Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ha, Waka, Kodash, Muhammad.
Double honor to the elder apostles and GMS and the elders. And shalom to you, Akim, not watching the children that believe it's the truth around the four corners of the earth, man. With that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Right on time. Sure.